Good evening. Happy Sunday, everyone. Again, let me apologize about my tardiness. This is all on me and I take accountability. Thank you so much for everyone tuning in. This is going to be a very short, sharp, in-depth talk about vets in terms of what happened yesterday and the weeks leading up to yesterday. So as you can see, this is the thumbnail that I decided to put out, which is absolutely fair. The Eubanks, that's Independent and Catford, Connors, and that's Kawuya and LSU. Before we start, I want to again thank Nana Gaffer of Catford to coming on. How you doing, sir?
I'm tired.
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, brother. How are you? You good?
Tired as well, man. Tired. But let's not talk about that. Oh dear. But let's go with the fixtures. The results from yesterday. Catford lose to Kawuya 1-0. Is
4-1.
Sorry, 4-1. Sorry, 4-1. And then Hollington and the Leone Stars was postponed. So it was Johnson and Phillips played Greenwich Borough and beat them 6-1. LSU Masters beat Independent 3-0. And the Metrogas Santos game was postponed. And this is the table as we look at it. Greenwich first, LSU Masters second, Hollington third, Leone Stars fourth, Kawuya fifth, Metrogas sixth, Independent seventh, Catford eighth, and Sporting Santos ninth. And these are the fixtures for next week. Kawuya versus Hollington, Barnstead versus Leone Stars, Sporting Santos versus Independent, Bromelians versus Catford, Metrogas versus Kawuya. Let's go straight into it. I mean, how would you assess Catford's first five games so far this season?
It hasn't been great. Let's call it a spade a spade. I could sit here and give you excuses, left, right, center, or defender mistake, or goalkeeper mistake, but at the end of the day, it's Catford. We haven't played well enough to win football games. That's why we are where we are. We played some of the top teams currently. We played Kawuya, top team. We played LSU. We played Metrogas, and then Greenwich Borough. And as you can see, these are the teams who are sitting high and pretty over there. It hasn't been great. But obviously we will look to put things right. Just go back to basics and do what we need to do. Last season was an overachievement, as we all know it, and then so everybody was put on blast. Everybody knows what we were capable of. So everybody comes with a full squad when it's Catford's turn. So it is what it is, but I'm confident we can turn things around.
Yesterday's performance, and again, I was watching, and this isn't an individual criticism. I think people kind of know me well enough where I can have a laugh, but of course I'm a kind of straight shooter. I think the performance as a team yesterday was, it was one of the worst I've seen. And all credit to Kawuya, they kind of had our number. And how did you feel second half, 70 minutes into the game?
Over the last 2 years, I can tell you games where I've seen us get beat. And that's 3 games that I've seen us get beat like with no ideas. Last season it was Holland to the first game. I think we had like 12 men, one injured. We got beat 6-1. I understand the reasons for that one. The final against Greenwich Barrow last season, and then this one. In terms of the goals we conceded, in terms of the cohesion as a team, it was it was a shadow of the Catford that I know. And we got beat. You know, I watched the video back, and it was a very, very difficult watch because it was a bit very bad at the office. And so far as I'm concerned, there's no hiding place anymore for anyone. At 70 minutes, I'm looking, and we had a decent enough squad out there to compete, and we didn't. It's very, very low in confidence. Too concerned about not making a mistake instead of actually playing and enjoying football. If we play with a smile on our faces, we always get something out of the game. But it's normal when you're not winning football games. You're losing in particular fashions and all that. Your confidence gets low, so things don't go as well as they should for you. But like I said, I'm very, very confident in the squad that we have, in the ability of the players, and I know we're going to bounce back from it.
Vela always say, never judge a man when he's on top of the hill, judge him where he's at the bottom. And literally right now, as that Catford manager, and we've had some very frank conversations, especially yesterday. So I'm not gonna talk about what was said, but literally at this present moment in time, exactly what you've just alluded to. There's no hiding place, and of course, there's no hiding place for you also as the manager. Teams have kind of tried, they've tried to look at our strengths and look at our weaknesses, and literally right now, they are kind of figuring us out. I mean, what have you learned about yourself for the past couple of games?
I mean, let's go back to the first comments that you made in terms of, judging a man when he's right up there or down low. I mean, remember when we took over Catford, we had 7 players. And that was the lowest point, to be able to build Catford from where it was as a team to finishing second, to getting promoted, finishing second, and then trying to consolidate and be stable and sustainable in our second season. It was always going to be difficult. There's a lot of things that I have learned on me. The ethos of the club is the ethos of the club. It's hard work, dedication, and playing the game in the spirit of the game. That will never change. Now, if I look at the games and the way we've lost these games, there's been various things that have happened. And like I said, I'm not going to give excuses, but we know why those games were lost. We know how those games were lost. What do we need to do to bring us back to basics and then build again? Because this was always going to be a difficult season. We said it. It was always going to be an incredibly difficult season. There's a lot of strengthening on all fronts from all the other major players. Unfortunately, we haven't strengthened as much, but we still have the same core. We lost a few players, 3, 4, 5 players, but we still have a core of our players from last season. We will be okay, but I have learned that, I need to find a way to get his boys back on track, believing in themselves again as much as I believe in them. And that's no mean feat. That's not something that's easy. But we will find a way to get everybody enjoying their football again. And once they start enjoying their football, we win football games. It's really simple. I've seen it time and time again when the smiles on the face of the lads, which propels them into winning football games.
Let me bring up this image again. And again, for me, it's a very poignant image. I think any kind of boxing fans will know exactly what I'm alluding to. I think ourselves, Catford and Independent, yesterday, both of us got absolutely hammered by the Connors. That was Kuya and like LSU. And at this present moment in time, if I look at the table, we are like in the relegation zone. Santos definitely have to pick up points, or literally again they will be set adrift. And just above us are Independent. Independent got beat by LSU Masters, and literally what I heard from like a few people that actually watched the game and were literally part of it is like Independent flattered to deceive. And when we kind of look at the table now, Independent is literally going to be a game where both teams need to win, right?
100%. I just heard bits and pieces of what happened yesterday. I haven't heard the full story. Apparently, it was a very, very, very physical game. Very, very physical game. And in hindsight, it was always going to happen. Obviously, with the history that them two clubs have, obviously, with most of the players moving from Independent to LSU, there was going to be a lot of love-hate relationship there. Yes, it's ended 3-0. However, I'm sure we'll find out a lot more in the course of the next few days. I'm not worried about what's going on there. I'm worried about my club and getting and winning a game of football. Like I said, we place all the top teams who are there. When it comes to games like Independent, Santos, Leonie Stars, Metrogas, they all need to beat us to be able to stay afloat. So these games are going to be our World Cups, our Cup finals, in terms of the state that we are in right now, because we are not firing on all cylinders. So it's a must-win game. We have to get some of those games. If you land the first job, then you stay ahead of them. It's as simple as that. So everybody will do their thing in terms of other clubs, but I'm more concerned with what we need to do.
I think what, and again, I want to go back to what you said a few questions before, also as in terms of what you answered before, in terms of the lowest point for Catford and for you as manager was when we had 7 players, and literally from the 7 to have 17 players right now, and literally I know we can kind of talk about what went wrong yesterday, but overall, even like in the clubhouse, we sat down, we had a laugh, we had a drink, we celebrated like your birthday. So there's still a togetherness there, which is for me the most important thing, because like a lot of teams, a lot of people, when they're going through like a little bit of a bad patch, that's literally when people start getting on each other's nerves. There'll be WhatsApp group conversations, etc. So that's like something that we have. There's a sense of togetherness, and yeah,
that is one of the things which sort of keeps me going, because I'll keep on saying that the lowest point for me as a Catford player is not these defeats, because that's football. It can happen. You can have a bad patch, but again, what I'm seeing are a few things which gives me hope. One is that the manner of the defeats that we've had, like I said, it's only yesterday that we were beat. 2, the fact that we still have 10 odd players staying after a game that we've lost so badly and still bonding, still talking, still analyzing the game, no arguments, that sort of thing. It gives me hope. It gives me hope and lets me know that these guys are capable of turning things around. Usually when things like this happen, when teams are not winning football games, that's when you tend to see rats jump ship. Yeah, my wife said something the other day. Says when the ship is about to sink, or when a boat is about to sink, the first ones to jump ship are the rats. We haven't had anybody, just say we are not winning football games, so I'm going. I'm that. No, we haven't had that, which is always good to hear, always good to see, because then people, they believe in what we're doing. They are firmly committed to the squad, and they believe in the ability to turn things around, which gives me hope that this will change, and I know it will change. We don't become a bad team overnight. Doesn't happen. We just need to go back to basics and do, what we do best. That's all.
Answers come into the comments said we have seen worse. I mean, again, Answer, Yinka have been at Catford for many over like 10 years. So I can actually imagine that they've seen a lot worse in like their teams. And what, myself and Answer had a conversation yesterday. I'm not going to say exactly what we said. And literally Answer, is a kind of player that, he like wears his heart on his sleeve. And, you know what I mean? And but literally it's about that control, and literally that's kind of what we spoke about. I'm not going to say exactly what, because again, that was a private conversation. But again, he's an integral part of literally what like we are like trying to do at Catford.
Yes, so is everybody else. Ansar is a great guy. Know him off the pitch as well.
Terrible dancer though. Terrible dancer.
Well, I can name one person who's worse. Definitely not Ansar. But it is what it is, man. Ansar's a great guy. Yes, he wears his heart on his sleeves, but I think he will continue to learn how to control it and let his football do the talking on the pitch. Once the goals start coming in, we'll be absolutely fine. So once our defenders can also play back-to-back games without catching the ball in the air and getting red cards, we'll be even better.
Well, it was an executive decision. So
shut up.
Oh dear.
My God. Executive decision to, what do you think it was? What, basketball, netball?
You know what? I would explain myself in the group. I don't need to say.
We don't need any more explanations. It's fine.
So, of course, we have a cup game against Bromelians or Bromelians. I always get the pronunciation wrong. And again, they are no mugs. They're in the championship. They are doing well. I can imagine that they've probably looked at our results, and they've probably got some intel from like team or from like players that they know. What are you expecting from that game from us?
They'll be rubbing their arms right now in terms of the state that we're in, and I wouldn't blame them. They are no mugs. I think they lost a few games and they bounced back with some really, really big wins. Bromelians have always been there. They've always been there, especially in the championships. From Division 1. I remember when we were independent and there was a season where they didn't want to go up. So we went up instead of them. So I've always got love for Bromelians. It's going to be a really, really tough game, especially in the state that we're in. And, I expect us to go there, going back to basics. Nothing fancy, just going back to the basics, which got us where we needed to go. And so so far as I'm concerned, that's what we're going to do for the rest of the season. We're going to go back to basics and build from there. It's as simple as that. Nothing too complicated, nothing too intricate. Let's go back to basics.
And our next league game, I believe, is against Independent. Is it Independent?
Yes, I think so. I think so. Yeah.
And again, you literally that's like going to be a very it could be a very emotionally charged game. Again, two teams right now who are fighting for points. Both teams have some really good players. I mean, what are you expecting from that game?
I expect it to be just as it is. It's going to be a dogfight. Actually, we have Bromelians, and yes, we have Independent at home, and then Metrogas. After that, it's always going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a keenly contested game, and I think so far as both teams are concerned, it's going to be like that for a long time. What I am happy with is that we've broken bread, we've had a drink on both sides on so many issues that were going on, some still pending. So as much as it's going to be keenly contested, if I have anything to say about it, it's going to be played in the right spirit of the game, and the best team wins. We're going to play football. It's going to be a dogfight, but we're going to play football the right way. No nonsense on the pitch, so far I'm concerned. And that's how it's going to be. So I expect, I won't expect anything less in that game.
No, thank you so much for coming on. Let me just say again, happy belated birthday to let you yourself. Also, as well, I kind of want to go on record to say thank you to Marjorie. Every single home game, there's always food provided, even though we have to pay. It's cool, but literally yesterday it was a free portion, which was absolutely amazing. So again, thank you to Marjorie for all of her hard work. It doesn't go unnoticed. And yeah, you know what? It's kind of
maybe I should increase the subs so that the food becomes free then. They're absolutely full of doo-doo, even though we have to pay. What? How do you see me? Like some Salvation Army, some Santa Claus or some NGO? This guy.
Oh, we have a question from Answer. Nana, is Tabriz in contention to start next week?
Answer, behave yourself. We'll see. Let's see who's available. And
what do you mean who's available?
Yeah, let's see who's available, and then the management team will make a decision. But I think fair to say that when Tabriz played the last game, apart from the foolishness of grabbing the ball out of the sky, he had a decent game. So therefore, he will be, if he's fit and available. I'm not talking about starting, but he will be available for a call-up, i.e., he will be available in the pack to be picked for the game. He'll definitely pass the squad, if I should put it that way. So,
yeah, very diplomatic answer. I really like that. Nana, thank you so much. Oh yeah, as well. Just to say, Nana, I couldn't get my refund on the tickets yesterday.
Serves you right. Next time when you're looking at something, you're gonna look at it properly and pay for the right thing.
Madness. But hey, it's one of the things. And before we go, we'll probably digress a little bit. Like boxing yesterday, did Conor deserve to win?
Of course he did. I was saying to you, obviously you were watching, and I was saying to you, it's a money thing for me. There's going to be a trilogy. There's too much money in there to make it a 2-0, and Conor was after it. You could see it. He wanted it more. He never stood in front of him to have that dogfight. He was never emotional about it. He just came to work. He was fitter. He was sharper. No nonsense, and it was the same pace for all 12 rounds, and almost knocked him out there. But on the other side, Eubank was saying that he's going through something for the last few months. He's going to go and deal with it. We don't know. That's probably going to be the excuse. But from the Eubank that we've known all this while, that was not Eubank. Because the jab wasn't flowing. He was very, very reactive to everything instead of being proactive. It didn't seem like he came out there to win the fight. It's just my opinion. I'm not boxing, expert or whatever it is. But if you come to fight, you come to fight, and it's very clear for everyone to see that you want to fight and win the fight. But it wasn't that. And it just before the fight, I said to you that this is going to be a trilogy thing. It's going to be exactly like, it's too much money over there to imagine just splitting the press like it's press like 60 million. Imagine that.
I can see where it would make sense financially, but from the first round, like we were kind of watching it with like Seb, and Conor held the center of the ring from round one, and and I was thinking to myself, isn't Eubank the bigger guy? Shouldn't he be holding center?
That's what I'm saying. No jab, nothing. I just don't think, in terms of his health, another 40-50 million is worth it. And he, you could tell that there was no power in his shots. Yeah, there was definitely something going on, but as a kind of individual, especially with it, if it's an individual discipline, it's you are supposed to leave all of that outside of the ring and concentrate on your job, which is to but we are human beings, brother. It's
true.
We will find out what the Eubanks, they're very methodical in terms of the things that they do, in terms of the things that they say. So we'll find out soon enough what's going on. I hope it's nothing very, very serious, because he's expecting twins on the way as well. But we'll find out soon enough. There'll be an excuse for how it happened, and I won't be surprised if next year at some point they announce, a winner takes all sort of thing. That's how they get the fans, isn't it? Like, this happened. That's the reason why I couldn't fight. So and then they started the war of the words again, and before everybody's buying to pay-per-view to watch, like I did yesterday. So it's a waste of my money, but
very true. Very true. All right. Okay. So Chris Eubank Sr., Catford Wanderers, Chris Eubank Jr., Independent, Conor Benn, Kawuya, Nigel Benn, LSU, and Eddie Hearn and Ben Shalom, Southern Vets Football League. I think literally that's a great analogy in terms of how everything went down yesterday. Nana, I want to thank you, and also as well, I want to thank everyone that's been watching. I'll be back next week, Sunday, 8 o'clock. Please share, like, and subscribe. This is the Voices of the Game podcast. Have a great evening.